I am so excited today to be joined by our full-time, part-time, Geneva, I'm just doing hair. This is a terrible way to start a podcast, but this is Geneva Reber. Everyone say hi, Geneva.
Hi.
This is going to be a rough interview, I can already tell, but that's okay. I just want to do it in one shot.
It's going to be great.
Because you're so busy. Well,
Gives a
Geneva,
character.
introduce yourself a little bit.
I'm Geneva Raber. I'm from Arizona. I'm here at Utah Tech studying business management, and I work at the Institute, and I help with outreach. I just share Institute with everyone.
I love
But
it.
yeah.
And she's a wealth of knowledge, and she sits at that desk, usually in the evenings. Is that correct? Or
Yes,
you just, okay.
usually in the evenings.
Very cool. So come over, say hi to Geneva. I said Reber, but it's Raber. I apologize.
I didn't know if I was going to tell you or not.
What? Come on. You have to tell me truth, especially on this podcast episode.
That's
We're talking
true.
about truth telling and myth busting. Sister Raber. Okay. Geneva, thank you. Usually we play a game, but most of this episode is going to be a big old game. And so we're gonna just play a little game called myth busting, and you're gonna help us out. So
Let's do
thank
it.
you so much. Okay, so Geneva here, like I said, she's a wealth of knowledge. If you have questions, she's here to help. She's here to help people acclimate and get involved in the Institute. So first of all, I want you to tell us about a myth that you believed for a while in your life. And yeah, go ahead. What's a myth you believed for a while?
So my dad is a dentist, and he had, so one of his assistants, she dressed up as the Tooth Fairy. And
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And she like totally posed and everything in the office. They took a picture of her, and they gave it to me and my siblings. And they
Did
were
they
like,
give it to their patients, children as well?
I don't know. I don't know if they gave it to the patients or not, but they definitely gave it to us, because they were like, oh, we'll give it to Dr. Bob's kids. This is gonna be funny.
Okay.
And so I had this picture of the Tooth Fairy, this lady dressed up as the Tooth Fairy, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and my dad's like, yeah, like she works with me and stuff, like we're really good friends. And I was like, no way. And I would just go around and be like, yeah, my dad's friends with the Tooth Fairy.
I have photographic evidence.
Yeah, I have evidence.
Meanwhile, you're getting mocked relentlessly.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was
Years of therapy.
Yeah, seriously. Anyway, but it come like years later, we still knew the lady. She was a good family friend. And years later, I was like, wait a minute, this picture
You look
looks
like
a
the
lot.
Tooth Fairy.
You look a lot like the Tooth Fairy.
How old were you when it dawned on
Oh
you
man, I was probably 10. I
Okay.
was like, wait a minute,
that myth busted?
something's not right.
I'm sorry. So I can't mock you too much because I grew up in Alaska. Well, I was born in Alaska, lived there for about 8 years, and because it was so close to the North Pole, right, Alaska or whatever. At least that's what I thought as a kid. Anyway, I had uncles who, I'm not joking, they would get up on the roof every Christmas
You're kidding.
and they'd do the whole on the roof, right? And, ho, 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 ho.
Oh.
And so I was like, no, Santa is totally real. Like I hear him every single Christmas. I hear him on the roof.
Like, I know he's real.
I was probably 12 or so before I really believed in it. And anyway, so
That's so funny.
myth busted. I have to tell you too,
Busted.
when we got married, my wife and I, we weren't, the whole Santa thing, we were like, do we tell our kids? Do we not? And so we kind of went with the whole, let's not do anything and just see how it goes. And our oldest, I vividly remember when our oldest was like 12, our youngest would have been how old? 5 or 6, I don't know, like young, okay? And we overhear them one Christmas holiday, and we hear them arguing. And our youngest is like, my friends at school told me it's just mom and dad. And our oldest going, no, it's not. That's a lie. Like, your friends are lying to you.
You're kidding.
And they're going back and forth, and my oldest is getting more heated. And they're like, oh, she's not trying to ruin the magic. She actually believes. Like, she believes.
It's real.
To a point where finally she literally is in tears, and she goes to our youngest, she goes, do you think mom and dad would lie to us? And I'm like, oh crap, we're going to hell. So that's that. So we took her out and we had the talk
water.
and had to
Oh,
bust that
no.
myth. But
Oh.
anyway, she's a sweetheart.
You
Anyway.
know, my dad did something like that. Well, not really like that to me, but he just, growing up, he would say, I don't know why he did this to us. I think he just was like, ha ha ha. But you know the saying, like, oh my gosh, how does it go?
Liar.
Wait, liar, liar, pants on fire.
Right. That's the saying.
Growing up, my dad always said, liar, liar, fire in your pants. And so, like right now, I couldn't even remember what the real
You
saying
couldn't remember
was.
the real saying.
Liar, liar, fire in your pants. And I grew up saying that. And and so I like when I leave the house and I come to college and like go on my mission, I would say that, be like, haha, liar, liar, fire in your pants. And people would just look at me like,
Stop
what
it.
the heck? And like few people would be like, what? Like, why'd you say it like that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, liar, liar, fire in your pants. Wait, is that how it goes?
Nope.
Liar, liar, pants
on fire.
See, I can't even
That myth
remember.
is so ingrained in
It's
you.
ingrained in
You
me.
can't let it go.
Anyway, so my friends now, though, they hear me say it, and they're like, that's a problem. We need to fix that. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine the way I am. And they're like, no, you're weird.
No, I love it.
Liar, liar, fire in your pants.
Well, there are some other ingrained myths, I think, that are out there in our church culture. And today, audience, you're welcome. We're going to bust some myths and try to get you to know the truth here.
The truth.
The truth. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to throw a myth at you, and these myths are about Institute, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to throw a myth at you, and I want you to bust it. Is that all right?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Myth number 1. In order to take classes here at the Institute, you have to be registered. That's the myth.
No, false.
Bust it.
Busted. Anyone can come. You don't have to be registered. I think the goal of Institute is just to have everyone come and feel less like school and attendance and assignments and more, just like a place of growth and coming and, you know, like...
Well, yeah, come and belong. That's what's on the outside of the building, right? It's the name of this podcast.
It's not like super strict and structured. It's to your needs, and you don't have to be registered.
Okay, just show up to a class. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, what about this one? Because we're like 9 weeks in. Spring break's right around the corner. So, myth, bust it. Here's the myth number 2. You can't join a class once the semester starts. Kind of like over at the college. If we're this far in, it's too late.
Busted. No.
Okay.
False.
Really? Okay. Well, what's the truth?
Yeah. Actually, at the Institute, what they've done, this is newer, I believe.
Yeah, I think we've only been doing what you're about to explain for about a year.
Yeah. So in the semester, we have, well, the semester's 15 weeks.
Right,
And
the
so we've,
normal college semester.
yeah. So we've divided it into 3 5-week blocks, we call them. And we'll have like a class will be about a topic, for example, families. And each 5-week block is about like a subtopic of families. So for the first 5 weeks, we learn about dating. And then the second 5 weeks, we learn about marriage. And the third, we learn about parenting. And so basically, a new topic starts every 5 weeks. So there's honestly like new classes starting all the time,
yeah.
you know? And also something I really like about Institute is that the classes, I don't feel like they necessarily build on each other. I feel like each week you can come and, like in a Book of Mormon class, you can come one week and you can learn about faith in the Book of Mormon. Right. And then the next week, you can still be studying in the Book of Mormon but learn about prophets.
Right.
And
It's
the
not
next
like you're
week,
missing out on it.
Yeah, you're not missing out. It's like each week you'll learn something different and you can just pick it up wherever you want.
Love it. Yeah, and you're exactly right. We did that for that very reason. We realized a lot of kids they don't want Institute to feel like a college class, and so just coming in. And I love how you said it. It seems like there's always a fresh new class starting.
Yeah.
So, awesome. Okay, you're doing really good at this, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Institute. Every Institute student here is working towards graduation.
Actually, this is new. We did away with our graduation plan. So it used to be where you had to take classes like to graduate, specific classes.
And we really chased graduation.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you need to graduate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which like isn't a bad thing. Like you want students to learn and succeed. However, we wanted to almost move away from, again, like you mentioned, that school feeling and just move towards connection and growth and growing at your pace and your level with the topics that you need. And so graduation, it's still an option if you want to do it. And so there are students that come to me and they're like, I want to graduate in Institute. Like, that's like something I want to do. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, what do I have to do for that? So sometimes it's just like a goal that people have that they just want to like graduate from Institute. Right. And that's cool. But like me personally, like I'm not on the graduation track. Like I'm
You
just,
and literally 99.8% of our students.
just come and just learn, you know.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, here's another myth. This is kind of a subtopic of Institute, okay? We're going to talk about our choirs for just 2 minutes here.
Okay.
We have a couple choirs, that's truth. You have to be a music major to join our choir classes.
No.
Busted.
Busted.
Okay, tell us.
Yeah.
What's
We
the
actually
truth?
have 2 choirs. We have an audition choir, so you can audition for that. And then you also, there's just a, what do you call it? Just an everyone choir for,
I like
for
it.
everyone. Like I would be going to the everyone choir. I don't know how to sing. You probably don't want to hear me sing, honestly.
No, I actually kind of do. But, that's just me being a weirdo.
No. But like I want to learn, and like I don't want to have to take voice lessons, or I want to just be able to go to an environment where I can show up, sing, like
Feel the spirit as you.
sing good songs, be surrounded by people who feel the same way that I do. And that's what it is at Institute. Like it's free and you just come and you just sing. And Brother McConkey is our choir director, and
He's so good.
is so good. Like
So good.
yeah, he's amazing. And so it's great. In the evenings, we have it on Wednesdays at 8. We have this everyone choir, I'm calling it now.
Okay. I think we need to change the name on the site. Okay, yeah.
But you just hear the choir throughout the Institute building, and it just sounds amazing. Like
It really is heavenly.
Yeah, like you would think that that's like a professional choir.
Yeah,
like it sounds amazing. So everyone
Does a
come.
good job. Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to be attending college. You need to be a student at Utah Tech University to attend Institute.
No.
Busted. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Institute is for individuals between the ages of 18 and 30. And so if you fall in that range, go to Institute. And it doesn't matter, like here in St. George, you can move to Nebraska and you can find an Institute there.
Love it.
You can find one, and they're all over the place. And if you're between the ages of 18 and 30, that is your place.
Love it.
Go
I love
there.
it. Yeah, my daughter's attending hair school right now. She's graduating this
Cool.
Thursday. Good job, Cammie.
Woo.
And yeah, she comes to our class.
Shout out to Cammie.
I just have to know, Nebraska, total tangent. Why Nebraska?
I'm asking the same question.
Because I was like, I wonder what she's going to say. Isn't that stupid that my brain was like, I'm like, Chicago. She's going to say Chicago. No, Nebraska.
Chicago.
Okay, I'm sorry. We may cut that. I don't know. But, okay, cool. You have to be a Latter-day Saint. You have to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to take Institute.
No, false, busted. This is pretty cool. The other day, so we do activities here at the Institute. We do classes and we do activities in the evening. Every Thursday we have chill night, and this past Thursday we did swing dancing. It was so fun. But I'm from Arizona, like I said, and I had a good friend in high school, and she was Christian. She's not a Latter-day Saint, but she was Christian, and she and I were good friends. And actually, she ended up coming here to Utah Tech. I left on my mission, and she actually came when I was on my mission, and she reached out to me, and she's like, guess what, I'm here, and we have to meet up when you get back, when you get home.
Cool.
And so, anyway, she and I are good friends, but we've talked before and gone out for ice cream and just talked about like Jesus Christ and the gospel and stuff like that, even though we're not of the same faith. And I've invited her to Institute, and she's invited me to church with her and stuff like that, and neither of us have had the chance to go. But this past chill night, during the swing dancing thing, she ran out of the crowd and came up and hugged me, and I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know you were here. And she was like, yeah, my friends invited me, and I just wanted to come check it out. And so like, it's just, Institute's a beautiful place where it just, like, we just love Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And all followers of Jesus Christ come here, and like everyone's welcome. And so I was so happy to see her there, like just because she's a good friend from home, and like, those people where you're united through Christ, they become special friends. And so I was just happy that she was here.
And being united in Christ doesn't necessarily mean church or religion. It just means, you're on that path
Exactly.
of just wanting to be with good people.
Yeah,
so I love that.
Totally.
Okay, last myth.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else we need to bust. Here we go, ready? Oh, answered a phone call on my watch. That was my son who I just hung up on. Okay. This institute is really for people who are ultra spiritual.
False.
Busted.
Busted.
Okay, talk to me.
So, I like to think of Institute as a hospital, or even, you know what? Let's do a mechanic shop.
Okay.
My
Hospital
dad,
mechanic.
my dad's a mechanic guy,
perfect,
so he's
perfect.
told it to me this way, but I like it. So when you go, when you go to the mechanic shop and there's broken cars there, right? And who fixes the cars? The mechanic does, right? And Institute, or going to church or whatever, it's the mechanic shop. It's a place where you go to take your broken car that needs fixing. And the mechanic is Jesus Christ, and he's the one who fixes us. So we come here because we are broken and we're old and we're rusty and we are not perfect.
Ouch, Geneva. I'm just teasing.
I need to fix my brake fluid. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man.
I love it.
Oh man. Anyway, but all jokes aside, we're imperfect, and so we need to come here to be fixed. And an institute is not a perfect showcase of cars. It's not a car show with these perfect cars. It is a place to heal. And just the other day, there was a individual here at the institute I see often, and I was just talking to him, and I was like, "Are you going to a class tonight? Are you going to institute class?" And he's like, "No, I'm not going to one." And he's like, "I haven't actually been to one before, and I see him here all the time." And I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah, he's like, I want to be here, and I like, he really likes the feeling of Institute and the people here, but he just doesn't feel worthy to go to classes." And he's like, "I just don't," he's like, "I feel like I need to fix myself before I can go." And I told him, I was like, "It's good that you're here, because that's healing. And what's going to heal you even more is learning about Jesus Christ, because, we're imperfect, and that's the whole reason we have Jesus Christ, is he makes us whole."
I love that.
And so come and learn and let him heal you, let him make you whole. And so everyone here that comes to Institute is imperfect and is broken, and that's why we come,
Well put. I love that. Thank you so much. I'm not a mechanic.
Neither am I.
I don't even know how to change oil. But I was talking with somebody else this week, rather, and we were talking about kind of a similar analogy. And he said, sometimes all you need, he was talking about carburetors. I know nothing about a carburetor. I couldn't point to a carburetor, but he's like, when you fix a carburetor, what you do is you just make these tiny little quarter, instead of a full, turn of a screwdriver, just a quarter turn.
Okay.
And sometimes that's all it takes, and the carburetor is now in sync. And so whether you be a broken down, rusted car, or I just need a tweak, I just need a quarter-inch turn.
Yeah.
That's what Institute's for. So I love that analogy. That's wonderful. Okay, anything else you want to say about the Institute program? Thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
High fives. You really busted some myths tonight. And I hope it's helpful. We want you guys to know that come. There's so much to do here to come and belong, whether it be activities or classes or choir, or it's awesome. But anything else you want to add?
Yeah, actually. Okay. There's a variety of languages that we offer here too at the Institute. So you have classes in English, we have a class in Spanish, we have a class in Portuguese, that's a new class, and we also have a class in ASL. And I'm sure if you talk, if there's a need, we'd love to fill it. Yeah, if there's another language that people need, or they want to learn about Jesus Christ, and they need it in their language.
Absolutely, we'll find
do
someone.
That. We'll find someone. And so I love that Jesus Christ reaches us in every language. Cool. And then, other than that, daytime classes. We have daytime classes, evening classes literally at any time. There's even a Saturday hiking with the prophets, where we go out and hike. I want to do that. Okay. But I just love how it can fit your schedule, just any time you need. You might do a semester where you take morning classes, and then another semester where you take night classes, and you can do it anytime. It just fits. Awesome. Yeah.
We want to make it accessible to everybody,
Yeah,
so that's cool.
totally.
Geneva, it has been an absolute pleasure and privilege. Thank you for being on our podcast and
Yes.
helping us bust some myths.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Okay, you guys, we'll see you at the Institute. Thanks.
See ya.